morning, Facebook fam. It's Monday morning. Getting ready to go to work. Got to make my first video for the day. And what I wanted to address with this video actually kind of been on my mind the last couple of days. Wasn't sure how to kind of address it, but I want to talk about a psychological condition known as Stockholm Syndrome. Um, First time it was recorded being diagnosed was 1973. And for those who are not familiar with the term, basically Stockholm Syndrome is a condition that causes a hostage to develop a psychological allegiance with the captors. It's a survival strategy, basically. Um, they've noticed it, like when people were taken hostage in bank robberies, things like that. Um, there is a mechanism of self preservation within us in our subconscious mind where we will actually cause our thought process and our actions and our attention to become in alignment with the very people who are holding us hostage or with the very situation that is holding us hostage. Well, you may be asking, like, Brother Marple, what does this have to do with me? The truth of the matter is when we start to look at our lives and you just ask yourself about the areas of your own personal life where you're not happy, you're not satisfied, or you feel stuck, almost like you're hostage. For a lot of people, it's financial, your jobs. Uh, Man, we hear a lot of times, we talk about how we can't wait for the weekend, because we want to escape the Monday through Friday grind of our jobs we can't stand. And this is actually a form of Stockholm Syndrome. You're expressing the sentiments of somebody who's a hostage, as in you don't have the freedom to move and go as you please because the threat of danger to your life or lifestyle. Many of you will tolerate everything from disrespect to lack of value, lack of proper compensation, the games, politics of corporate America or the job, nepotism, all these things that you will tolerate. And because you need that check to pay your bills and to take care of yourself and your family, and you need that to survive, you will gradually, if not immediately, become probably one of the most vocal um, proponents of your company, of your job. I mean, as much as you know that it's robbing you of time and value and your opportunity and ability to pursue other satisfactory dreams, you'll stay in that job and you'll be loyal and faithful to that job. You will actually get up early, be on time, work late, and tolerate shit at a job you hate that's killing you. You'll give your everything for it. But when it comes to putting that same type of effort and energy and work into creating a situation where you can be free, your mind won't even register it a lot of times because there are so many ways and so many opportunities, especially now because of the internet and the new markets that it's opened up, that anybody basically with a little bit of time and effort and focus could supplement their income over the internet doing something that they actually enjoy. But because of the Stockholm Syndrome and the conditioning in our mind, it's hard for us to break out of old mental habits, so we stay stuck. Another one is religion. This is probably one of the more obvious and more powerful Stockholm Syndrome culprits. Whenever your relationship with God is mediated through another individual or institution, because of the magnitude and the weight and the significance to us as human beings of the concept of God. Anybody who can stand in between us and our connection and relationship to our Creator holds immense power in our lives psychologically. We won't even recognize or realize it at first until you really start to open your mind and become conscious But um, it is very, very clear. Everything, like especially with the scandal going on, and that's been going on in the Catholic Church, where you have people who are faithful to their religion and faith of Catholicism, but because of some of the principal structures of how they operate, like the priests remaining celibate, like this is literally confining your whole human experience and literally causing you to choose to separate or remove a biological imperative in order to quote unquote serve God. And because of the suppression and people being trapped in their roles and the image that they got to portray to keep up the system looking good so its influence and power doesn't sway, um, you have a lot of people who are operating in the back shadows, molesting kids, having sex with you, just doing whenever you restrict or you confine or keep hostage things. um, the biological imperative doesn't operate off of our psychological choices. It is what it is. And sometimes, well, oftentimes to our own demise, people try and make these vows and commitments because of their religion, and it keeps them trapped. But we will literally, because our minds are so powerful, once we commit to a belief, we can cause the circumstances immediately within us and around us to conform to our belief. That's how powerful our mind is. And that's why this Stockholm syndrome is so dangerous if you don't recognize what's going on. And another big one, and probably wrap up on this one because I could probably go on some more, but financial survival. Again, this is one that when you think about it, you'll see it all the time. It kind of ties back to the whole job thing. There are a lot of people who really they just feel stuck. They can't think of creative ways to support themselves, so they fall back into the patterns of what they've seen and what they know. This will be everything. Traditionally, well, yeah, traditionally, women a lot of times got into relationships or marriages because they needed support. They needed to, have somewhere to stay, something to eat, somewhere for their children to be. And a lot of times that they were found in relationships where they were actually being abused, but they didn't have anywhere to go, didn't have anywhere to leave, and just felt trapped and stuck. So they would actually cultivate all the nuances of how to keep their captor, their man, whoever it was, as peaceful and as happy, as calm as possible, just to make sure that, hey, the bills get paid. Hey, we get to eat. You know, and so you find a lot of negotiating where until you become sovereign and autonomous in your ability to provide for yourself and to make sure that you have all the resources you need, um, you're gonna tolerate and accept things that you normally wouldn't, or you put up with a lot of shit you don't like because you got to eat. You need that check. And this is another level, another form of Stockholm syndrome. Uh, yeah. For you to be able to recognize Stockholm syndrome and to be able to grow out of it, the first step for you to do is recognize and just be conscious of it. Um, Oftentimes, we don't like to admit when we're stuck because an admission that one of our beliefs has us in a place where we're stuck, it's almost disempowering. So we like to reject the notion or the concept. Um, but Stockholm syndrome is very real. It keeps you mentally trapped in a situation when your captor is no longer holding the power or sway over you. Um, and the sad thing is you'll actually give the power back to your captor until you realize that you need to come out from underneath the Stockholm syndrome and realize that you are able to be sovereign, autonomous, and self fulfilling because your creator gave you the power to be free. Um, I consider Stockholm syndrome to be a mental and emotional disease that needs to be that people need to be healed from. but it's one of those types of healings that has to come from within. Nobody on the outside can give this to you, because if it was dependent on somebody from the outside to set you free, then that means you never had the power to be free on your own. So just something to think about. Wanted to make sure I put this video out this morning before I get ready to go to work. Um, I hope that gives you something to think about, enlightens you, or at least gives you another nugget of wisdom to begin to step into a place where you are more free. So, with that being said, this is Brother Mark Scott. Peace. I'm out.